This episode of Retro Rob Plays Everything is brought to you by Beerios. Each bowl of nutritious Beerios contains 110% of the recommended daily allowance of wheat and barley, plus 500% of your daily calories. I've only had 2 scoops and I'm buzzed already. Beerios, it's noon somewhere. Hey there, real gamers, Retro Rob here, and this is going to be one heck of a wild ride for you. It is for me anyway. This is kind of a weird situation. A while back, I reviewed the RetroGame 401 game system, and it did pretty miserably on its testing. It didn't completely flunk out, but it did not do well. And in the comments, a lot of people said they really loved this device, had none of the problems that I had, and that I was just full of it. Well, they didn't say that. They were really nice, actually. They thought maybe I got a defective unit, or maybe like some kind of B-class unit. I'm not sure, but it had severe problems, and I demonstrated them, like, on screen, and they were like bad. I mean, it had some video banding, it had some emulation issues. So anyway, Ploylab sent me this for review, and I realized, of course, pretty much right away by the box, I'd already covered this. And I was about to alert them and say, look, I can't cover this. I've already done it. But I opened the box just because I remembered some of the comments about it and started playing it. And this video is going to serve as a revision. I am not sure what was going on with that other unit. I don't think it was defective. I think there might be more than one grade of this device, but I'm not sure. Now look, I'm not going to say that this is a perfect device. It's not. However, this one is much better than the other one I tried, and I'm going to show you why. I'll do the full review, but I'm going to do a couple side-by-sides when I get into areas where I had problems with the other ones so that you can see them. Alright, I'm going to start this just like every other video, though, with the front of the box. Angers Mrs. Blubbersworth. The right side of the box is Jericho approved. Digital game system 3.0-inch full-color screen. The console is slim, portable, and trendy. I made a comment about that last time I did this. Digital multi-platform device can play on TV. The backlit function of the screen ensures players can play everywhere. Everywhere. With powerful rechargeable battery pack, includes an AC adapter and a lithium-ion rechargeable battery. 6 hours of continuous gameplay. The left side of the box is on my truck. Well, so's the rest of it, really. Console, 1 piece. AV cable, 1 piece. Charging cable, 1 piece. User manual, 1 piece. And game controller, you guessed it, 1 piece. This one's in red. The last one was in blue. Maybe that makes a difference. The top of the box says with joystick. Holy crap, is that thing one of those murder wasps? I'm getting out of here. The bottom of the box has a nice diagram telling you where everything's at. Super important. This is the bottom of the box. This is the bottom of the box from a distance. Open sesame! Oh yeah. Alright, we're going to take a quick look at what's inside. By the way, the last one of these I got was in blue. Let's come back to that. First thing we've got is a manual. I said the first thing we've got is a manual. That's much better framed. GC26. Bunch of Chinese, but if I flip it over here, you can see it's in English. Note, make sure the battery is full or full of power in the game. And if the battery is insufficient, it will not boot properly. Well, not the worst English I've seen. Not great, though. Next, we have the backup controller. It is basically non-offensive like the last one. It does have rubberized buttons here. It is MIDI.
Mini USB. As opposed to micro. So it just plugs into the top, I'm guessing? Yes, it does. And of course we have A, B, and then we got a Turbo B and a Turbo A. I did that right. Actually, it's A, B, Turbo A. There you go. It's, you know, it's not terrible or anything. It's not super light, but it's not super heavy. It's just okay. Nothing really wrong with it. The cable, however, at least is of reasonable thickness. Unlike some of my fake NES controllers, man, they had some really thin cables on there. Okay, next, we got the charging cable. It is really pretty short and fairly thin. The plastics feel okay. It's only about 3 feet. It's, if even that. Wait. Oh yeah, no, it's like 2 feet. And it's not as terrible as I thought. The head feels like it's pretty decently attached. Not super cheap metal. Looks okay. About average. Next. Yeah. Well, no. Okay. Next we have the AV cable. It looks to be about... Let's open it up. Oh, that's a good 4 feet. 3 to 4 feet. It's a little bit thin, but not offensively thin. You remember for a while they were giving away these like offensively thin AV cables? See, I can actually like ping it up a little bit without it bending. So that at least is an improvement over that. There's no protector to make sure that you don't split this, so you can just keep splitting forever, which I never really like. The head's reasonable, so it's not terrible. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it's not bad. Real quick note, I measured the AV cable. It's 4.5 feet. All right, here we go. Time for the anatomy of a handheld. We're gonna call this the GC26 now. Therefore, we have a name. All right, couple things. Kind of a thin plastic over the screen. I think I mentioned that last time. A, B, X, Y are non-offensive. They mush in just the right amount. So I really have no complaints about these buttons. They're kind of small, but other than that, they're pretty decent. The reset button is okay. It's plastic, not rubberized. Same goes for the start and select buttons. D-pad. This is one of the things that I had big complaints about on the last one. And I mentioned that there's 2 ways to really deal with the idea of D-pad collapse. And what happens when you got D-pad collapse syndrome is basically if you press something one way and press it back, it locks. And this feels like it would do it, but I'm going to tell you, I kind of cheated and tested this already, and it doesn't. And I think it's a combination of 2 things. From what I remember, this is much stiffer than the other one. And also, if you look, like the other one, it has a concave design. So if you look, the edges are higher up, so that tends to fight that effect. So though it's a very shallow D-pad, that might cause some people problems. In testing, it didn't have the problems of the last one I tested. So we'll show that in action. Next thing, we got a volume control knob right here. Perfectly acceptable. I like that. Note that the speaker's in the front. Also an okay thing by me. Looking up at the top, we've got a on-off switch, USB charge cable, and AV out. So this has AV out via some RCA jacks. And then if we pop this open, of course, there's an 800 milliamp battery, which is supposed to be able to charge up and then power this for 6 hours. Which is kind of believable. I very seldom had these where they don't make at least close, you know, like 5 hours off of a charge. I'll probably test that and get back to you on it though. All right, here we go. Main menu. You have a choice between Chinese and English. And of course it starts up with the Rescue Rangers cover, which we've seen quite a bit. I'm gonna just scroll through the games real quick if you want to find out what's in here. If you're wondering if there's repeats, absolutely there's repeats of the same game. but they tend to mix it up with some different stuff every once in a while, which makes it so you don't notice it as much. Just kind of crazy. We're going to come back to F1 Race because that's going to be one of the big differences between this one and the other one I reviewed. Again, same model, just different color. And of course there's Space ET, one of my favorites from these knockoff consoles, of course. I mean, why wouldn't you want to play that? There's also B-Wings, which is the not as good version of A-Wings. Ay, ay, ay. You've got Gig Doug. Yeah, there's a lot of misspelling going on. There's some hacks in here. There's also quite a lot of decent games in here, especially if you like the classics. They've got Dexter on here, which isn't always on these handhelds. I'm going to turn down this volume. This is, woo, getting me. Starting to get me. Free kudos to the guy who can name where this theme song is from. Can you do it? I better get a lot of answers on that. I'm going to guess a lot of you guys know. All right. Twin Bees, Star Soldier. I mean, there's some good stuff on here. Oh, did you see Friday the 13th is on here too? We'll just keep going through. We're about halfway through now. Castle Excellent! Dudes. Again, this is absolutely game for game identical to the blue one that I did. Keep going. There's Nutcracky in here. We played that once. Early on. How about Panda Mario? We're starting to get into the hacks. But as you can see, they kind of mix it up. You do get new games all the way down till the end. Oh, Rampage. I like Rampage. And then there's some more Super Mario Brothers 47, 48, 49. It generally starts like right in the middle of the game, is what those are. Bolt Action. How about Super Mario Wreck? Which is not Super Mario Rectum. That would be really bad. That would be pretty embarrassing. And there we are. Number 400 is Ye Are Kung Fu, which is actually a pretty good port if it's what it says it is. All right, let's start with some of the tests. All right, here we have Ninja Gaiden 2, which gave the last test fits. And the reason was I couldn't go backwards half the time, and I got some footage of that going on. Every time I would press back, it would just not do anything. But look at this. And again, I knew what the results were going to be here because I did test it earlier, but it goes backwards when I press it. Look at, I don't even have to lift up my thumb. So it doesn't feel a lot different. It just doesn't do it. You know, I mean, it just doesn't miss the D-pad presses. It's actually fully playable now. Oops. Well, I mean, it's still me playing, so, you know, you got that going on. But look at it, I can duck, I can jump, I can climb up this wall, and then get myself messed up. There we go. So, even though this looks and feels like the same device, I'm not having a problem. So the question is, was the other D-pad defective? And I would say generally, well, yeah, maybe it was. But I'm going to show you something else that's a lot different. Let's go bring this on the big screen.
Thumbs up, comment and subscribe or I will go Skynet on your butt.
Hey, look at that. It's the F1 race test. And this is a test I have not done in a while. I'm going to note that the original RetroGame passed this, but with a serious technical flaw. And the serious technical flaw was when you were racing, on the side you would see another copy of the road. And I'm going to put that also in this video so you can see what I'm talking about. And that's what makes me think there might be something substantially different with this. I have seen that problem before. The multi-road version of F1, or the Phantom Road version of F1. And it was a whole streak of hardware that had that. A streak of hardware, of course, is when a piece of hardware gets naked and runs across a football field. So is it possible that there's a different chip on here running things? I think that's a possibility. Not sure, maybe a different ROM? Could be. Other thoughts? Feel free if you are in the audience to make some comments. Sometimes we got somebody in the know, and they know a whole bunch about these little clones and have information on that. But there's two things that can go wrong with this. Number one is the multi-road thing, which the other one had. Number two is they will start turning the opposite direction from where you are steering after the first or second turn. This shows neither issue. I also want to point out that the D-pad's functioning just fine. I'm not having a problem steering, which I had some serious complaints with the other one, as I recall. All right. Let's go on to another one of my common tests, and I don't think I did this on the other one, but I'll do it for this one, and we'll see how that goes. That, of course, is going to be the Lode Runner test, and you'll know what that's all about in a minute. Let's go on. All right, the Lode Runner test, and the Lode Runner test is a test of whether the A and B buttons are being mapped correctly. One of the things that is really common in handhelds is that the A and B button are reversed. You can really tell in a game like Lode Runner where you have to have the A and B button mapped properly, because the B button has to dig to the right and the A button has to dig to the left. And guess what? It passes. The correct buttons are mapped in this game. I didn't run this test on the last one, so I don't know whether it would have passed or not. At least I didn't see it in the video when I was reviewing it. If anybody knows, let me know. But maybe you had this version of the handheld, so kind of hard to tell. But anyway, yeah. So, as far as the Lode Runner test goes, son of a gun, I gotta get that. This passes. Oh, you little jerks. There, that'll keep them busy for a while. Oh, made a mistake. I made a mistake. Darn it. Arrgh. But anyway, yeah. Pass. Alright, and here we have some Bobble 2. And as you can see, it's not 100% perfect, but I think the other thing you're going to see is there's no banding. And I'm going to put this side by side with my earlier recording from my Blue device. And I have some thoughts on this. Now note, in the other video, I did use two different cables because I was wondering whether the cable was bad. But no, still had the vertical bands. And here, as you can see, it's not a problem. So my thinking is that this might be like some other electronics items I've had where there is multiple grades that you can get out of China. You can get like a low grade version of the same thing for a little bit cheaper. Maybe something that didn't have the quality controls. I'm not sure. Has anybody else seen this? I don't know. But I'm wondering whether it's something like that, where it depends where you're buying it from. Because every once in a while, I'll hear like from somebody out in comment land that, hey, I got this thing for $10 and it sucks. At least I didn't pay as much as you did, but they had complaints about it that didn't match the experience that I had. And I wonder if that's what's going on here. I wonder if you do get what you pay for. Exerion, or Exerion, or Exerion, or Xerion, or whatever the heck you call this darn game. One of these days I'm going to start looking up the name of a game before I say it. Anyway. Yeah, playing just fine. Having no problems. Again, the D-pad is a little shallow. It definitely is. But it is not by any means unusable. At least I don't have to pick up my thumb every time I want to move. That's a good thing indeed. Come here, you little buggers. This level kind of reminds me of Phoenix. Oh, it got me! Alright, let's go on. I want to show you some things about the screen and the audio.
Double Dragon 2! Double Dragon Harder. Where the heck is the volume? There it is. Okay, I've got it cranked right now. So, I'm going to say that this one is not as loud as the other one. The other one was much louder, as I recall. It's not terrible, but it's not super loud. That said, the audio is pretty decent on it. Come here. No, you're gonna... Ooh, you come here. Come... Oh. Why is he kicking backwards? That is some... garbage. Go! 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 That's what it should say. Just saying. Beat him up. Oh, jeez. I'm getting walloped. Interesting thing, while I'm recording, I noticed that the screen colors are a little bit brighter on the recording. Is that because of the angle I'm at? No. Huh, interesting. It's a recording artifact. I am barely playing this game. There we go. That's a wallop. Come on, you. Oh no! I'm amazed that I am not way more beat up. I'm not doing good by any measure. But, I thought it'd be worse. Alright, let's go on. I can barely contain my excitement for Baresark. Pretty great game if you can bear the intro. Now bear in mind that this is a platformer. I'm so sorry. Here we go. You're gonna like this, though, I think. I think you're gonna like this one. The music is freaking great. And, yeah, you start out as a... I don't know, what? Are you a bear? So you start off fighting with your bare hands. Come on, really? Urgh. I'm doing terrible. There we go. Okay, now I got a sword. Things are gonna get better. Yeah. This is a neat little game. I like it. Not doing great. Okay, so now I got a weapon. Like a real weapon. An adult weapon. Keep jumping. Oh. Ah, rats. What you, man, you only live once in this. That's brutal. Neat little game though. Let's go on. I don't know if you saw it at the beginning, but there is a hack screen on the front of it. But at least the game plays right. Ah! Dang it, I caught my finger. One of the problems with playing a handheld game system and trying to record at the same time is you gotta keep things flat. And that causes significant gameplay problems. Whew. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So, Donkey Kong's on here. And a perfectly fine version of it is. Funny story about Donkey Kong is it's a game I played on the Atari 2600 before I actually played it in the arcade. Let me tell you, the Atari version was very disappointing after I played the arcade version. Sucker. Oh no! I messed up. Let's go on. Here we are with some Rampage. The NES version is not amazing, just for the record, but it plays well enough. And I guess it's better than the Atari 2600 version. That's saying something, right? Come on, you. Get over here. Oh, jump! Jump, jump, jump. There we go. I like the World Tour version of this on the PlayStation. It's a relaxing experience, though. I have to say, I'm kind of enjoying myself. Like I said, graphically not amazing, but gameplay-wise, this is very enjoyable. This building's got to go. It did! Jump! Oh, yeah. So, Rampage, one player is getting a little too hard for you? Well, you can add a friend. Just plug this controller into the top, hit start. Come on. And, oh, I guess it's hit A in this case. And boom, look at that. You can play two-player. It would probably be a lot easier to do if I had this plugged into a screen right now. Let's wrap things up with a little pinball. Very nice. I don't think anything's been hacked in this game. Here's another game. Oh, I screwed that up. I cannot believe I did that. But everybody watching can. Alright, let's do one more here. This is some really good 8-bit pinball. Just saying. Halfway decent sound effects. Gameplay is good. Has some variety. I am very bad at it too. Very, very bad at it. But you know, such is life. I don't know, last couple videos, my gameplay has not been on point. Which I'm amazed nobody's commenting much about that, but that's alright. Fair enough. And here it is, the final chapter of the RetroGame 401, or do we want to call it the GC26? I'm not sure. Hopefully that'll zoom back in. Yes, it did. That's very good. Anyway, I'm going to start with the screen. The screen is pretty darn decent. I am going to mention that I noticed some diagonal tear when I was turning it on and off. I didn't notice it as much in gameplay, but take a close look through that gameplay footage when I'm recording off the screen. Make sure you don't notice any. I won't know till playback whether it was real bad, but it doesn't seem to be that bad. On the screen thing, video output, this version of it has no vertical banding or any of the jail bar problems I saw with the other version of it that I had. So that's good. Audio. I did find that my battery was low. So the volume is actually pretty good and it's pretty clear thanks to having this speaker in the front of the unit. However, sometimes your thumb will cover it up when you're playing the game. So it'll muffle it a little bit just because of that. The controls themselves work pretty well. They're not amazing, but it's got just enough stiffness to keep it from locking up when you're pressing forward and then going back. So it has no D-pad lockup. It is a little bit shallow, but it did not bother me during gameplay. So I've got no real complaints there. The device also handily passed the F1 test, which the other one got a partial pass. It does not have the problems that the other unit that I tried had, so that's really good. Also, this thing passed the Lode Runner test, which so many of these handhelds fail. So that worked as well. Also, of course, there's the 2-player option. It comes with the second controller, which is okay. Not anything amazing, but I didn't find anything terribly bad about it either. So, all in all, it's going to get a pass. It works pretty darn well. Once again, I want to thank the folks at Ploylab for sending this out to me. I'll put a link down to this device on their website below in the description. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in a couple days. Maybe it's because it's red and the other one was blue.